Chapter 7. I want to get it straight that I am no fan of violence. People who go around punching other people are as dumb as baboons. There are only two exceptions that I learned at the precinct. Two situations when a decent man fights. 1. In self-defense or in defense of someone else. And 2. In defense of some moral idea. That's it and that's all. Everything else is baboon behavior. I figured I was out for some moral idea when I was grappling with Scratch, but I didn't like to do it. I looked at the sky. The rain coming down was like a thick beaded curtain. A shower curtain. Right. And boy was I wet. I glanced at my sodden reflection in a puddle. I looked like a seal. When I jumped from the window, I felt myself landing on a rubble-filled lot. An obstacle course full of rusty metal and jagged tin cans that were hungry for my feet. But I'd picked my way out of it and got to the sidewalk, and now I was safe. The street was deserted. A sharp bolt of lightning cut through the air like a zigzagging zipper unzipping the night. I stood for a moment at the edge of the warehouse and thought about possibly using it for shelter. Jumped through the fragments of the busted-out window, lie low, wait it out. But the glass was too spiky. It rose from the window like the teeth of a dark shark. It must have been the next loud trumpeting of thunder that hid the other sound, the sound of disaster barking at my heels. I turned. He was big. A broad-bodied schnauzer with murder in his eyes. My back went up. I stood there frozen, not certain what to do. If I ran, I'd be chicken. If I stayed, I'd be meat. Besides, if I ran, I'd be asking him to chase me. I waited. He pounced. He was big, but he was slow. By the time he got near me, I was 6 feet away. I jumped to the ledge of that cat-eating window, and I hung there and growled. He didn't seem to care. He stood there barking and jumping at the wall, and I knew from experience he'd stay there forever. We'd both die of hunger before he went away. The next move was mine. It was something I'd seen in an old-fashioned movie. A cowboy jumping down from the edge of a rooftop and landing on his horse. I landed, bullseye, right on his back. He didn't know what had hit him, but he couldn't get it off. He tried to turn his head around and bite me. He couldn't. He rolled. I rolled with him. He growled. So did I. He bucked. I dug my nails in. He tried to run away, which was not a brilliant plan since I was riding on his back and he couldn't outrun me. Still, he kept trying. The more he couldn't lose me, the faster he ran. Up to 5th Avenue, over to 10th Street. He kept on running while the rain kept falling, and the sky kept erupting with the thunder and the light. Once in a while, he'd look over his shoulder, see me, get spooked, and try for an extra burst of speed. When we got to 8th Avenue, I jumped off his back, but he didn't seem to notice. He just kept running. I stood for a moment in the shelter of an awning. I felt like a jockey who's just won the Derby, or a rare, lucky man who's caught a taxi in the rain. The rain seemed to lighten, then tapered to a stop. I walked home singing.